Hey, this is Pastor Thor Ramsey with Gospel for Five, where we take 5 minutes out of our day and focus on the gospel and the one who saved our souls. This week, every one of our devotionals is leading up to our Easter message on Sunday at 9:30. In addition, we'll be live streaming a Good Friday message at 7 p.m., of course, on Friday on Facebook. Today is Wednesday, April 8th. We are in the Gospel of John, chapter 13, and verse 21 begins this way. After saying this, Jesus was troubled in spirit and declared, "Very truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me." Now, Jesus was troubled by this. He was troubled because he knew somebody was going to sell him out. And he was deeply troubled by it. I don't know if you ever lost a relationship over money, but that's what was happening here. Jesus was going to be sold out for some cash. And it troubled him because he knew Judas. He knew the one who was selling him out. He had a close relationship with him. So here we see the humanity of Jesus, Jesus being fully God, fully human. Jesus was troubled in spirit. He could be deeply troubled and not fall into the sin of anxiousness. And that shows his humanity, his being troubled in spirit. And the disciples looked at one another, uncertain of whom he was speaking. So you notice the disciples had this really, at this point, a humble attitude. They didn't have this overconfidence of Peter that Peter expresses later in I'll follow you to the death. I will never desert you. They looked around. Is it me? Is it going to be, who's going to betray Jesus? And I think this is the right attitude to have. Now, not that we have an uncertain attitude, but our confidence is in Jesus to keep us, not in us to keep Jesus. So do you see the difference there? Our confidence, again, is in God, who says, if I began a good work in you, I will complete that good work. Now, this doesn't mean we just sit back and do nothing. It has to do with where we place our confidence. And we should place our confidence in Jesus keeping us and not place our confidence in us keeping Jesus. I remember in college, I was a young Christian, a new Christian, not well grounded in the gospel, wasn't well discipled in the foundations of the gospel, but my confidence was misplaced. And some of that had to do with the discipleship I was receiving, placed a heavy burden on you and what you did, all you're doing. But I remember we had a speaker one night at Wednesday night Bible study, and that Bible study attracted about 100 different students from the campus of the university. So it was a well-attended Bible study, but it was really, someone was given a message. And the speaker that night said, look to the person on your left and look to the person on your right. And 3 years from now, one of you will not be walking with Jesus. And I remember thinking to myself, well, I know it's not going to be me. I know that I will never fall away. I'm too passionate. I believe this too deeply. See, but my confidence was in me keeping it, rather than placing my confidence in Jesus. I should have had the attitude looking around going, is it going to be me? Is it going to be? Because it's this attitude of the person who says, I will never fall into that sin. That is a horrible attitude to have, because not one of us is immune to any particular sin. Well, for the most part, I'm talking about, just the general palette of sins common to humanity. None of us are immune from those. And so our attitude should be in Jesus keeping us. And that's what keeps us close to Jesus, our relationship with him, walking with him, rather than an overconfidence in ourselves to keep Jesus. Again, our confidence should be in Jesus keeping us and not in us keeping Jesus. So this has been Gospel for Five, and I ask you, what has God said to you today, and what are you going to do about it?